Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I'm going to do a quick video on how to break down the Taurus G3c. It's one of the latest models in Taurus subcompacts. A gun could not be any easier to break down. Like, it's mind-blowing how easy it is. You obviously need no tools whatsoever. So first thing obviously is you drop the mag out. Second thing, obviously, take it back. No mag. Make sure there's nothing in the barrel. Okay, so here's all you got to remember when you're breaking it down. Squeeze the trigger. Keep your finger on the trigger. While your finger's on the trigger, you got a lever on both sides that goes down. Push down on both of those levers. You got to go back about a 1/4 inch. Not a lot. 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. But while your finger's on the trigger, you go back about a 1/4 of an inch and then push down on both of those bars, and it literally comes apart like that. I can do it blindfolded. This doesn't need broken down any further for normal basic cleaning. It's just the main part of the frame. Then in here you got the guide spring. You take that spring out. The thickest end is near the end of the barrel. There's one side that's thinner and a bigger diameter. The bigger diameter goes to the end of the barrel. Like on most modern semi-autos now, all you do to get the barrel out is just slide it forward a little bit and just pull it right up. There's literally nothing to it. So with these 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, that'll get you most common cleanings that you will need. Once in a while you would want to go further and in detail break it down, but 99% of the time that's all you got to do to it, down to those 4 basic parts. I take a wet gun cleaning patch with a few drops of oil and I wipe down every single part of the barrel, and I also make sure I get on the ramp. That ramp is a critical part. And I take the same rag with a few drops and I spiral this spring like that so that the actual whole spring gets a little. Then I come in here, any metal part, I wipe it, especially that little ramp right there. On the slides, the grooves on the slide, where these grooves match the grooves on the slide, I make sure I dig in there with the cloth. This is a cloth that's got 3 or 4, maybe 5 drops of oil on it. It's not heavily saturated. And then on the main slide, it's got the grooves that help it lock in the slide. I take that cloth and I push it in there too, and I go through those slots. And then I always get this metal part here, wipe it. And then what I typically do is I follow up with a dry cloth. And I don't get carried away. I just lightly, all the parts that I went over with the oil, I just lightly, real quickly, just go like that. Just to get the excess so there's not like oil hanging on the gun. You're not removing the oil. You're creating a very light film. Not enough to collect much dust, but enough to keep it properly lubed. When it's time to put that bad boy back together, you just literally drop the barrel down in there. Go back until you hear it snap down in place, bam. About the only thing you could really mess up on is wrong direction on the spring. Always the fattest part goes to the end of the barrel. It's got the larger diameter plastic end cap. And then when you're putting this part on, there's a couple different levels on the notches. You want to go on the lowest, I say lowest when it's upside down, the lowest level. So you put that in there and you drop it down all the way to the very last notch. All the way down, right? Okay. When I'm putting it back together, I hold the trigger like I did when I was taking it off. Match up these slides. It's kind of awkward. You got to jiggle a little bit left or right if it's not going on until you find the sweet spot. And then you push down on those little notches again. And then I always rack it a couple times to make sure it actually went together good. Sometimes it'll surprise you and like it'll go halfway back and stick on certain guns. So you always got to rack it a couple times. Make sure it's doing what you want. Good to go. There's literally nothing to it. Also, you can, for all you lefties out there, the mag release button can be swapped out without a professional gunsmith. Like if you're somewhat of a handyman, you can swap it out by yourself to accommodate a lefty. I did it on this gun. It's, you know, it's a little bit awkward. You got to have patience, but you can do it. Thanks for watching.